Hello. My kitties and I are sick well, they're not sick. I'm sick. Been sick since Monday. So rather than delay this any further, I'm like, bitch, just set up in the bed and do it. Just do it. So I'm sure you guys don't mind, but it's recording in bed with the kitties today. I'm going to even lay down because I don't feel good. It's weird. I don't really feel the cold symptoms. They come and go, but they're not horrible. It's more the fatigue. I haven't taken a COVID test. I don't know why, but I'm just like, ugh, I don't want to. What am I going to do? I don't want to go on Paxlovid, but I feel like I am getting better. It's just like dread. For those watching, you probably can't tell, but this penny's right down at the corner of the frame. So we've got a lot to cover. We've got the episode to cover. We have Ariana on Watch What Happens Live. We have the after shows, and then the after shows have added in the Valley people, which we'll get to that in a second. I don't know how I feel about that. How do we feel about that? And then we have Lala's podcast, Lala's most recent podcast. There just were a few things that she said in there. I have such a hard time listening to her podcast because I just do. Jess is such an ass kisser. I know that's her job, but it's like, Jesus Christ. Like, God. She really, really, really butters Lala up. And I'm like, no wonder Lala isn't getting any better in terms of like self-awareness, you know? So we have a lot to go over. So here, I'm just going to start from the top of my notes. The first thing we got to go through is when Scheana, I know I touched on this last week, but when Scheana goes over to Lisa's to talk about the just horrible, the worst trip ever. And she says, I'm going through stages of grief with Sandoval, and Lisa cannot let Scheana say grief because that means end. And she's like, no, we mustn't have that. We mustn't have that. And she's like, grief, grief. Sheena's like, yes, grief of that friendship. And then Lisa goes, and you feel you can't have him because Ariana will be upset. Are you taking away all of the things that have happened and reducing them down to just Ariana being upset about it? Scheana was screaming at Sandoval. Scheana was telling him he betrayed her. All this shit. He was saying she punched Raquel. Lisa, how do you hate Ariana so much? She was the one who was cheated on. But because she's not coming and crawling over it, that's the thing. Ariana isn't relying on Lisa and crying on Lisa's shoulder and filming scenes with Lisa all about how heartbroken she is. If she was, I think this season would be very different. I think if Ariana was somehow putting Lisa in the center of her experience and making Lisa like her mother goose that Lisa loves to be to Scheana, this would be very different. But Ariana's doing her own thing. She's also just never had really that dynamic with Lisa. I mean, they all kind of get forced to film scenes here and there that are like just completely to make it seem like Lisa has some sort of central role in the group in real life, but outside of filming, that's just not the case. Except for obviously the Toms because they have an actual business together. But remember last season how Lisa took Ariana and Katie kind of like under her wing and got them the location of their place and sort of made it seem like she was mother goosing. She always likes to do a little mother goosing. And Ariana's not doing any of that and she's getting opportunities. And I bet Lisa's like, she's jealous. And then Sheena's always going to go to Lisa and complain. She's been doing that since the beginning of the whole show, even. And Lisa likes that role. If she doesn't have that role, then she will turn against you, it seems. But how are you seriously reducing this down to just Ariana is the one who's going to get mad, and that's why Scheana has to grieve her friendship with Tom Sandoval? Were you there? Do you remember? Lady? You know? Scheana says, when I tell her how I'm feeling about Sandoval, she says, I don't want to hear it. I'm like, that's not true. She actually doesn't say that. But also, why would she want to hear it? Why would she want to hear it? Scheana? Lisa fucking says, is it because she's in this whirlwind of attention? Okay, that right there is like, oh, so you're so jealous. Got it. Whirlwind of attention. Ah, cool. Copy that. Then Scheana is like, oh, and then Dancing with the Stars. I pick up Dan from the airport, and then he's like, oh, yeah, I'm here for the announcement or whatever he says. And what announcement? Dancing with the Stars. Oh. Then Lisa's like, the way she puts her head in her hands, like, no, what a tragedy that she got Dancing with the Stars, knowing Sheena's wanted it. What? Like, that's not how that works. Sheena's like, I was taking dance lessons. I started taking dance lessons even. It's like, okay, but was your agent or manager or whatever like reaching out to Dancing with the Stars? Was there something like in the works? Or were you just like, this is it, this is my year? Because if you were just like, this is it, this is my year, you would think that when you saw the way Ariana was getting like every endorsement deal under the sun, that maybe she would get it. And as Ariana says on Watch What Happens Live, Ariana thinks that if I get it, then maybe it would open up the door for more people from our show to get it. So that's where I'm coming from with that, which is true. But it's the way Sheena's like, she was so convinced she was getting it. And I was like, what was there? Maybe there was a reason, but Scheana is a little delulu. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was no reason for her to assume she was getting it. And then Ariana gets it and she's like, wow, that is about me. That is something she did to me. Lisa's like, when I got Dancing with the Stars, you just said you wanted it too, or whatever the fuck she says. It's like, so? By the way, you got Dancing with the Stars a long time ago, Lisa. You got Dancing with the Stars in season 4 of Beverly Hills. Okay, we're currently on season 13, aren't we? Or am I making that up? Isn't it 13? It's 12 or 13 or 12. Either way, that was a long time ago. So Scheana, wait a minute. So are you saying, Lisa, that every year Sheena's not gotten on Dancing with the Stars since you were on Dancing with the Stars? It's been a letdown for Scheana? Of course it has. Of course it has. And then I saw some headline that Scheana got banned from Dancing with the Stars because she showed up to the set to like support Kenya or support some Bravo Lab who was doing it. And she brought a weed pen with her. And that got her banned, which I think is so stupid, by the way. And also that probably just shows like how long ago that was. Because at this point now, I don't even think that would matter. It's like, you should just be checking for firearms at this point. Like someone bringing a vape pen, you should not be confiscating that. Like, get over it. But then Scheana does the most savage little bitchy confessional. And she goes, she's come a long way from being my backup dancer. And smirks. I'm like, bitch, you didn't pay her to be your backup dancer. You needed a backup dancer. And Ariana did you a favor. Okay? That is crazy. Crazy. Don't even get me started on Sheena's new music. It's so juvenile. It's like hot boys and the sun shines. And I'm like, whatever. And then there's 2 different songs she's got out now. Boy crazy. It's like, who wrote this? Is this for you when you were like 19? She's constantly like in a loop. Something happened to her. Something happened to Scheana, okay? Something real bad. Because she's like stuck in I don't know, guys. I'm not making sense. What am I talking about? I don't feel good. I'm on a little bit of Dayquil too. I love Dayquil because it makes you feel a little fucked up. And that's where I'm at. Like my head feels like it's detached from my body right now. Lisa's like, you should talk to her about how you feel. And she's like, I try, Lisa, and she shuts me down. Okay, if you want to talk to Sandoval because you want to hear what he has to say, do that. Just do it. Go talk to him. See what he has to say. And then if you're like, I don't know, I'm really feeling like I want to forgive him, then that's on you. But why do you need Ariana to let you off the hook? That's crazy. If I was in her situation and I genuinely felt like I had a true friendship, like I would never have a friend like Tom, but if you really wanted this friendship with Tom, why would you expect it to be on Ariana to give you permission for that? Unfortunately, this is going to be a tough position, not because of Ariana, because of Tom and what Tom did. But if that's where you're at, Scheana, then just fucking be there, dude. Stop putting it on Ariana. You know, like, what has he even shown you that would make you want to forgive him? This is all this like hypothetical bullshit. And now Lisa is driving this narrative that Ariana is the problem because everyone just would forgive Tom Sandoval if it weren't for Ariana. Why are you guys building this whole fucking show around Tom Sandoval? Is it because you know Ariana is about to get too big to do the show and you need to keep the people that are desperate enough to be on here? I don't know what's happening, but it's like this massive agenda to push Tom on them, and Scheana is so confused as to how to handle it. And it's clear that this is what they want, the network and production. They want Tom to be back in the group. That's clear. And they're like, Lala is trying to facilitate that happening, almost because it's like, just shut this down already. Can we just like keep this go? It's like perma conflict every time they film. And the main conflict is probably with producers because they're trying to like drive a narrative that doesn't make sense. You know, they were all pissed at Tom. They all had their reasons not to like Tom, but they're coming back and they're like, we always film together no matter what. And the whole season is them fighting against this narrative or fighting for it. I can't tell, but it's awful producing. Lisa Vanderpump. Lisa's a terrible producer. Genuinely. Oh God. And so Lisa goes, so you want to be this is talking about Ariana. By the way, Ariana, who's just been cheated on, she's got to move out of her house. She's got to change her everything. She's like, so you want to be in a relationship with somebody where you're just supporting somebody and you're just devastated? What? And Scheana goes, honestly, that's the story of my life. Change it then, Lisa says. Okay, I'm going to also be really... Scheana's hair looks terrible. It's all damaged and frizzy because that's what happens when you bleach your hair. But like, it just doesn't look good. The color's wrong. They didn't take it gradually enough. So now it's just frizzled, fried at the ends. And then I'm looking at it and I'm like, wait, is she trying to copy what Ariana's hair is? Because Ariana has basically the same outline with like the money pieces in the front and it's, you know, kind of like an ombre effect throughout. It just looks bad. It does not look flattering on her. She looks like she looks stupid. Okay, I'm annoyed. It's just this very, very frustrating scenes. Lala and Ariana, they go and they grab coffee. Ariana shows Lala pictures of the photo shoot from her book, and she says that the setup with the TV and smashing the TV was super cathartic because I don't really let myself get angry. And then they do a compilation of Ariana's like angry moments to essentially discredit and disprove that she's not someone who gets angry, like trying to give her one of those Delulu flashbacks that they like to do that, you know, show that this person is just so silly and so out of touch with who they are. But in the compilation, there's only like the one big fight with Tom where she's like, it's not on my phone, where they played Brittany the recording. And then the other one where she yells at James because James was being crazy. And he was like, Ariana, why'd you say that I was not being nice to that guy? Well, whatever the hell. And then they actually had the audacity to put in her yelling at Tom. I don't give a fuck about fucking Raquel. I'm like, that's a low blow. That's not really an example of her being like angry and irrational. Like she did that one time. We don't see her. She's really not. I thought that was a very unnecessary, and I have my opinions on Ariana that I'll get to towards the end of the episode. I'm not like just going to praise Ariana because she's flawed. We all are, but she's flawed, but not in that department. So when I saw that compilation put together, I was like, oh, they're giving her a villain edit. They are that's a villain edit right there. Come in. They take their coffees and they do a little walk and talk on the street. And the area specifically that they're in is a little sketch. And there's one point they're stopping and talking, and you see someone come out from the in the background. You see someone come out of the store that they were in front of, and then they quickly change setups. And I was like, oh yeah, that person was definitely coming out to like harass them. I could just tell. Like, this is not a super great area for them to just be like walking down the street. Lala says that Scheana's really worried that if she goes somewhere and is like cordial and pleasant to Tom, that Ariana will be upset. And Ariana goes, I'm not asking her to like fight him every time she sees him. And Lala's like, okay, well then the internet was ripping her apart for this picture. And Ariana goes, yeah, that fucking photo. And Lala goes, yeah, and you didn't come to her defense at all. And Ariana's like, well, I don't want to post something and then it becomes headlines. And Lala goes, not even for your friend? And Lala's like, you should have told your stans to back off. And then Ariana goes, I mean, I guess I could. And then she does later. She does. So what the fuck? I'm so sorry. She just wasn't thinking about Scheana at that moment. She's been inundated constantly with constant conversation online. It's just not something I would think she would do either, I guess. But I also am not in this world, so maybe I don't get it. I'm like, has Lala ever done that? Has Lala ever said, guys, back off? Maybe she has. I don't know. Has she? I don't know. And also maybe Ariana had some thoughts on the photo. Maybe she saw that photo and was like, yeah, what is that? That is weird. Then Lala says in her confessional that she's like, she says this a bunch. She's like, I see her scrolling. She's scrolling all the time. She couldn't make a post because you don't want to be in the mix. You step out of your house and you're in the mix. You lift your finger and you're in the fucking mix. Exactly, Lala. She'd like a break. She'd like a break. So yeah, if she doesn't want to get in the mix because she's exhausted from it, that's normal, isn't it? Am I being irrational? Maybe I'm being irrational. I don't get it. Back on the street, Lala says that this girl was so upset over what these two did to you and then caught a restraining order over it. Okay, now you're about to put this shit on Ariana? Scheana was mad at Rachel for her own fucking reasons. How the hell are you seriously putting this on Ariana? I shouldn't be surprised, but Scheana didn't catch a restraining order because of something that happened to Ariana, and that's it. Scheana had a very deep investment in this entire thing. So you just watch it. Okay, you watch it right now. Lala tells her that Scheana needs her to say, I love you, you're my best friend, whatever you need to do to heal, please know that you can do that. Is that something you can say to her? Ariana's like, well, I never need an excuse to tell her that I love her because I do. And I also, this is like rich. This is what Lala does. Lala has so many ons and offs with people, but when she's on with them, she starts preaching to the people that have been their friend the whole time. Ariana's been Scheana's friend this whole fucking time, Lala. Where have you been? Remember when you were talking shit about Brock? When the COVID season, you all came back from remember that? Remember that? That was just last season. No, 2 seasons ago now. So now it's like, can you just tell her that you love her? Okay. But she's like, nothing has changed here. I still do not want to have mutual friends with him. I don't want to have friends that hang out with me and then go hang out with Tom Sandoval. If you want to be friends with someone like Tom Sandoval, we don't need to be friends. I also know this about me. Okay, I'm a little bit this way, and it's to my detriment maybe sometimes because like I have a very small amount of friends. I don't like a lot of people. I don't need a lot of people in my world consistently. So I've got my core good friends, and if I were to like have a fight with somebody, I mean, none of them really connect, so it's tough for me to equate it. But like, I do get being like, ew, you're willing to be that person's friend? That makes me look at you in a different way. And I feel like it's just kind of as simple as that. But like, why is it becoming Ariana is the only reason why none of you like Tom? Lala, you don't even like Tom. You don't even like Tom. Why are you defending Scheana's right to be his friend? I would hope you're like, oh, girl, please don't go back to being Tom's friend. You can go ahead and forgive him if you want, but like, why? Why are you going to be his friend? He's so lame. Oh my God, I'm going on so many tangents. I'm never going to get through this episode. I might just fall asleep while I'm doing this. I'm so cozy. All right, let's see. Ariana says that she can remove herself from situations that make her uncomfortable. And Lala goes, that's exactly what she's worried about. What? That she doesn't want to be in situations she's uncomfortable? And Ariana just goes, okay, sorry. And I was like, that's what you can't be that way, Ariana. You can't shut down like this. Well, what are you doing? You're not showing her a ton of compassion either. Why are you fighting this battle so hard for Scheana? Let Scheana talk to Ariana. Let her talk to her. Let them work it through. You do not need to fight this battle. Why are you creating this obstacle and this barrier between the two of you? You've already, you voice noted Rachel. Ariana did not make a big deal out of it. You guys moved on. You guys could just be bonding your little pussies off, but no. You've got to fight this battle for Scheana. You want conflict with Ariana. You want to not like Ariana. Ariana's like, it's not me shutting down. It's me doing everything that is going to work for me. I'm not the person to come to with the Sandoval sympathy train. Lala goes, but she lost one of her best friends. What are you talking about? Thank God Ariana goes, so did I, too. Like, what do you want me to do? I'm not the one to come to for this right now. How are you making me the one? Should we be going to you when Schwartz was all upset because you wouldn't let him play pickleball with Randall? Should we be like, Schwartz is really upset. Him and Rand had a good friendship. Huh? Should we do that? How do you like that? Huh? Seriously, though. Ariana's confessional. She thinks what Tom's plan is, at least, is to get Scheana. Then she'll get Lala, then James, then Allie, and then ice her out of the friend group. And she's not wrong. I mean, she also watched Tom try to do that with Kristen. And let's go back to that. Tom didn't want Kristen around at all. Remember that? He didn't want her around at all over what she had done to him and to Ariana. And they were like, Tom, get over it. And he didn't like that very much, did he? Interesting. Very, very interesting. And so much has changed since then. So much has changed. Like 10 years have basically gone by since then. Ariana says something that is exactly, like, it sums it up, but it's not good enough for Lala. She says, I want Scheana to do what works for her and makes her happy, but I also have to do what works for me and makes me happy. So, how is that a bad thing? I am obsessed with my cats. I would do anything for my cats. I never thought, though, that I would get used to the litter situation. Because when Pretty Litter came along and sponsored the pod, I was like, how good can litter be? It's litter. It ain't pretty. But ironically, it lives up to the name. It should even be called magic litter, if I'm honest. It's not litter. It's crystals. They figured out a way, science, I tell you, they figured a way to make these crystals that absorb all the liquid. And those crystals will change colors and react to your cat's urine that could indicate potential signs of illness. So then you're like, should I take my cat to the vet? Looks like there's a potential sign of illness. That's amazing. But here's the part that I just don't get. It's so lightweight. Pretty Litter is light as a feather. There's no dust. The dust, I was using clumping litter before. The dust was so gross and it was just so heavy and awful. None of that. And Pretty Litter just absorbs odor, absorbs it right up. I used to dread going to change the litter. I would have to close my nose. I would have to breathe through my mouth until I was done. It was such a hassle because it was so heavy. None of that. Pretty Litter, it's light, it's easy. I really think it has changed everything in this household. I tell you. And it ships right to your door. And 1 6-pound bag, just one little bag, it's for a whole month. And then you just change the whole thing a month later. It's mind blowing. It's completely different than what your traditional litter would have you do. So I count on Pretty Litter to keep my house smelling fresh and clean. You can too. Go to prettylitter.com/she-speaks to save 20% on your first order. That's prettylitter.com/she-speaks to save 20% on your first order. prettylitter.com/she-speaks. Terms and conditions apply. See site for details. Okay, Christina, Katie, Lala, and Scheana go to dinner. Christina Kelly. Blech. Summer broke her arm. That made me sad. Scheana says in Tahoe, because Christina's like, how did it go? Like, where are you at, Scheana, with everything? And she's like, in Tahoe, I saw genuine tears from Sandoval. And Katie's like, okay. Christina's like, do you think he's more sad about losing your friendship than he is with losing his relationship with Ariana? And Scheana cannot wait to be like, yes, he's so sad. I'm the one he's actually more sad about. And it's interesting because I feel like last season, Scheana was like shocked. Not shocked, but like almost didn't want to give Sandoval that out, that out to say that we haven't been happy for forever. Because she's like, then why'd you buy a house? Then you break up. But now she's like, well, I feel like he was miserable and duh. So now like actually the one he's more sad about is me. And so like this is different for me because like Sandoval and I at Upfronts, he was the only one at Upfronts in 2012. Upfronts in 2012. That's why I think that I should stay his friend. Like I'm right there with Katie being like, okay, are you crazy? Come on now. And Christina goes, why do you think Ariana stayed so long? And Scheana goes, because you never know. And look at Jax and Brittany. They're married and have a baby. Is this seriously the example you're giving? You're giving Jax and Brittany as an example? Like for what? A good, happy relationship? Girl. And then Katie throws in, well, there are still wild stories out there about him. And Lala confirms it's beyond. Lala says that. But why is Katie the only one getting shit from Jax in the after show? He's such a nasty human being to her in the after show. And Lala's right there going, no, it's beyond. And us, like Lala knows that they're not a good relationship. Lala's around them all the time. They're not. We're going to see it this season. They're breaking up. So it's like, Scheana, this was your example, you dumbass. Christina asks, wow, Emily. Christina asks Scheana, like, where are you at? Whatever. And she goes like, Ariana has already grieved the loss of this. She's making millions of dollars, living her best fucking life. I'm not there. Well, guess what? You're also not the same as Ariana in this. It's crazy how she makes herself equal to Ariana because she cannot not be the center of attention of everything. Everything orbits around Scheana. Ow. Truly. Katie asked the right question. She's like, so he's the type of person you want in your life. This person who basically never existed. Yes. Upfronts 2012. I don't forget those things. Katie's like, I know, but let's try. And Lala. What? Lala, you don't even like Tom Sandoval. So why are you why are you like, that's just not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair to ask. Why? She's like, I'm not hanging on to shit from 12 years ago. Lala goes, well, that's you. Lala, you don't want anyone hanging on to shit from 12 years ago. Why are you defending Scheana so much here? Is it just because you want her not to be in trouble with like production and Lisa because you know that production and Lisa is like, Scheana, come on, make up with Sandoval. There's so many behind the scenes things happening, I think, that I'm just confused. Katie looks shook and hurt. And in Katie's confessional, she's like, I wish Scheana would just wake the fuck up and see the situation for what it is. Sandoval never give a fuck about your friendship. Cut ties, move on, be a good friend to Ariana. Period. It's so simple. Why do you want to be Sandoval's friend? He hasn't shown you any reason to be his friend. Lala's like, let's talk about something fun. And then Scheana tries to revert to talk about how she slept with the bartender in like 2006 or whatever. Did they blur his face too? That's even funnier. And Katie is still triggered. And Katie and Ariana both have the same defense mechanism. They get bitchier. That's what they do. That's their defense mechanism. And so Katie's like, wow, I'm really glad I got out of bed for this conversation. And Lala's like, what is your fucking problem? We've moved on or whatever. She tries to keep confident attitude, but Katie can't. And then Katie, she's like, that man has never offered me a sincere apology since the day I met him. And he's been awful to me. He interfered in my marriage. He made everyone think I'm a monster. And the fact that anyone is having trouble getting over this horrible person is fathomless to me. He's a demon. Is fathomless a word? I didn't even look it up. Unfathomable. I know that. Is fathomless a word? If it's not, I'm obsessed with it. But Katie's been put through enough. And on Lala's podcast, she said that something happened between her and Katie before the last reunion where they just looked at each other differently. Like they never really recovered from it. And so she says that they do soften. Katie and Lala do soften throughout the season as it progresses. But that I guess this is supposed to make me understand why Lala is like pretending she doesn't know why Katie hates Tom Sandoval and why Katie would be like confused that Scheana's like, I don't know what to do. Because just the way he treated Katie's mom alone, and we all know how Lala is about moms, just that alone should be reason enough for Lala not to want Scheana to be friends with Tom again. Like that guy, that's the guy you want to be friends with. Are we sure? Okay, Tom and Lisa have a whole scene at Tom with the pump sign in the front. I remember when that happened, people were taking pictures and posting it like, wait, what's happening? Tom was so pissed. Tom was like, interesting that no one asked us about that. I'm like, bitch, you are too much of a junior partner to have any say in shit, okay? But he brings up how he's worried about Rachel, and Lisa goes, well, I wasn't going to tell you this. Yeah, right. But I spoke with her at length. I don't know why the way she pronounced length was so weird to me. Length is how I say it, but I want to say length. I heard every consonant. Length. Sorry, guys. I'm so annoying today. I'm like all fucked up. Tom's confessional, though, he's like, when she mentioned that she was staying longer, I was like, the longer you stay, the harder it's going to be to face this. Excuse me? No. Already, I'm like, what do you mean you said that? And then he's like, and then she got mad at me, of course, because it became this thing where if I didn't 100% agree with everything they said to her, I was bad for her or something. Well, yeah, she's in a whole mental health facility, sir. And you're like, I don't know. Those people don't sound like they know what they're talking about. Yeah, I can imagine that they're like, maybe let's not talk to him. Maybe he sounds super manipulative. He's like, you're only supposed to listen to me. I'm the one who knows everything. It's like when he didn't want anyone, he wanted to talk to Rachel off camera without anyone there so that he could be like, this is what's going on. You're manipulative and controlling. You isolate and you groom, just like Lala said. I wish Lala could keep that energy with him and stop like flipping back. But exactly that. He's like, wow, it became this thing. If I didn't 100% agree, then I'm the bad guy. Yeah. Basically. Jeez. Lisa says that Rachel said she wasn't comfortable lying. And you said, Tom, life is lying. And Tom goes, I did not say that. He's like, fuck, I totally said that. He's like, she's saying that to you? She's telling you all the secrets? Yeah, buddy, you burnt. He's like, I just want to talk to her and give her a hug. Always with the hugs. Always with the hug. Don't touch me. Oh, that's also manipulative, you know? Lisa's like, well, if she talked to me, she must be willing to talk to you too. Call her. Tom's like, she blocked me. And then Lisa's like, oh, well, then it's over. Like, what are we even talking about here, buddy? Sorry, it's done. He's like, whatever. Lisa goes over to Lala's office in the next scene. Lala's, I thought this was actually interesting and probably correct because Lala thinks that she's going to, or knows, she's not thinking, she knows she's going to rebrand her Give Them Lala beauty line and take her name out of it so that it can stand on its own. And I actually do think that that's smart. That does show growth. Or is it called Lala Beauty? I'm sorry, it's not called Give Them Lala. Or is it? I don't know. But she's getting a sperm donor. Woo, woo. And Lisa has to go into her stupid traditional bullshit. Why not wait until you meet someone? Lala, because I don't want a baby daddy. Listen. And Lala's like, there's no changing my mind. Okay? Shut the fuck up, Lisa. Shut up. Then Lisa's Mother Goose voice gets totally away from her. I'm going to see if I can do it. The Tahoe trip was a respite, no? I didn't do it. That wasn't it. But that's how she says it. The Tahoe trip was a respite, no? It's like, she got, your Mother Goose voice got away from you, Lisa. The way Lala tells this story, it's like she wants to lead with Ariana as the bad guy, even though the outcome is that she did the right thing, putting that in quotes. She starts with, Scheana was getting all this backlash from the photo we took. I told Ariana, by the way, I don't know the order in which these were filmed, but it's really funny if Lisa had already met with Scheana and Scheana was like, this was the worst trip ever. Oh my God. And then Lisa's like, the Tahoe trip was a respite, no? So anyway, so she starts with like, Scheana's getting all this backlash from the photo. I told Ariana, why couldn't you say something? Like, give her some grace. And then she did it. And Lisa almost seems disappointed. She's like, oh, she did do it then. She did it publicly? Yes, she fucking did it. And then Lisa just goes, I see a shitstorm coming. Lala goes, yeah? Lisa just smiles. Lisa's like, I am emotionally manipulating all of you so that I make a good show because at the end of the day, this is the only show I have. Even though she's got the Vanderpump villa, which I don't feel like watching. I'll tell you that right now. Because what did I tell you? She produces a terrible show. Schwartz and Joe. Ugh. They go meet Allie at James's Sir set. Joe has got the weirdest energy, and it is exactly what Katie had said. It's like all the things Katie said in that. And let me see if I can find it. I know I saved it somewhere. The comment Katie left was, Joe is spooky. I mean, none of us could stand to be around her. Her energy is on par with a crackhead. But when Tom and I announced our divorce almost a year ago, the last thing she texted me was, Bieber loves you. I love you. And I'm so supporting of your inner thoughts and visions. Live in the moment. You're a gem. And I've always respected you. I love you. XO Joe. All of that tracks. She's just like squirrely. There was someone on Twitter, someone reposted it to Instagram, the scene, we'll get to the scene, but the scene where they're like having lunch, Joe and Schwartz, and doing like weird beeping, like beep, beep, boop, 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 whatever things. And the person wrote, me and my ex when we did meth together. I don't know why that kills me. That's comedy writing. Me and my ex, we did meth together. Dead. Oh my God. And then she gets so excited when they spot Tom. She's like, is that Tom Sandoval? And she's so excited. So Tom Sandoval has glasses and he sets them down and James comments on them. And then Sandoval's like, they're yours. You can have them. And it kind of weirded me out because James seems like the gift works on him. He's like, I've gotten so many Big Brother gifts over the years and I haven't lost a single one. I'm like, oh no. But then in the after show, that fear was squashed because James was like, we're over it. Okay, I'm over him. But he's like, they're not even gifts for me. It's like, here's this thing I have. You want it, you can have it. It's like, I can feel the manipulation. In the after show, Brock is also wearing like 4-inch heeled boots and a long sleeve mesh black top with a black tank top. And I don't want to insult his fashion choices, his expression of himself. I just don't get Brock. I think that's what it is. I just don't understand. But he also is like a sports guy and he does like rugby and shit like that. So maybe it's good to have that representation among men. I don't know what I'm saying. Allie, though, Allie in this scene, she's not here for this. She's got a very concerned look, or a look of she's not smiling. She's very cautious. She's like staring at Tom, like, I'm on to you, buddy. Don't even try it. Which I like that. Okay, then Joe and Schwartz go to lunch, and first the things I'm clocking, they order a shot and a beer, and I'm like, oh, they party together. I can just tell they look like they party like on the corner with cardboard boxes. They together, their energy is so icky. Like she does not bring out a good side in him. She looks like someone whose home is so filthy and dirty and gross. And he doesn't need that energy. He already does that on his own. Schwartz talks about like alien technology and like, look me in the eye and say you're not a tall gray. And then she does it. And then it's weird. But then it's even weirder because in the confessionals, they both get confessionals. And what is up with her hair? She's a hairstylist. I've known a lot of really horrible hairstylists, and she looks like a bad hairstylist. I wouldn't let her come near my head. But anyway, the producer asked Schwartz, when was the last time that you guys hooked up? And he's like, oh, I can't remember. And she's like, about a month ago. And then she's like, I think we caught real feelings. I think that's what's really going on. And then he's like, it's really platonic and we're just good friends. So he's fully like leading this chick on because she's willing to have sex with him sometimes. That's gross. Especially because it's this woman. They start the chirping and making the weird noises. And it's dark and tweaky here, I wrote. Now it's guys' night at H&H while the girls' night at Allie's place happens. Scheana asks Ariana, they go through the charts, they read the charts, and then Scheana asks Ariana where she's at with the process of still living with Tom, whatever. And Ariana, this is where I'll say, like, the hard part with Ariana, especially for someone like a Scheana, someone like a Lala, Ariana doesn't have big, emotional, animated ways of communicating when she's going through something emotional. She gets kind of one note She gets matter of fact. She gets sort of logical. And that must be challenging for people like Katie. I'm sorry. No, not Katie. For people like Lala and Scheana, because they're like so animated, so emotional, all of those things. And so they read Ariana's tone like she doesn't care or like she's being bitchy. And I can understand that. It's Ariana has her way of communicating, okay, I'm just going to keep going. Ariana says she's dealing with it legally the best she can, and then she completely debunks the theory that she's made millions of dollars. I even said, I'm like, I don't think she's made millions, guys. Like, some people were estimating some of those brand deals, like, oh, this was at least 2 million. I'm like, that's a little insane. Like, there's no way. However, I didn't know. But then she breaks down her financial situation. And honestly, I just hope that people felt stupid after they heard that. I just hope people felt dumb. Because she breaks it down and makes it make sense. She's like, I just was not in a position to move. So what the hell? And so now I'm trying to get my funds together so that I can move and feel like I'm not going to drown. Which is also something that we should be like, ooh, okay. Like, can't we all relate to that? But no. It's also really annoying to me that they don't demand Tom leave, that they're not just all of this energy that they're spending on wondering why Ariana doesn't leave. Why isn't Tom leaving? Why are they not just pissed about that? Instead, it's like, it's all about Ariana. If you're so upset, Ariana, why don't you just leave? If you're obviously not that upset because you're still there. It's that's what she's getting. Now, meanwhile, Tom Sandoval's on the guys' night talking about the Rachel status. And he's like, he's just making himself so the victim. And he keeps going, I'm sitting here alone. He keeps saying alone. And someone alerted me to the Howie Mandel episode with Josh Peck. Is that his name? And there's a woman there. There was like a chaotic mess of an episode because they're the kind of pod that like talks to the control room and like it was a clusterfuck, honestly. But this woman sits, and I could barely get through it because she was honestly very stupid. I hate to say that, but like just her whole energy, everything. She's like, yeah, like whatever. But she makes it seem like it was with when Rachel was around, but then she's also like, no, after Rachel. But that timeline is very murky. So I don't really know what it proved, but we also saw him. There was a lot of rumors that he was hooking up with girls at his shows and stuff, which doesn't shock me because women love musicians. And even though I hate to call him a musician, he has a microphone and a band. So women were into it. But Tom in his confessional, he goes, I don't want to find another relationship. I think I just want female energy in my life. You just want to fuck a lot of women. Got it. Cool. Back at the girls though, Scheana has text Brock asking how it's going. And Lala, of course, plants this seed so that she can get it poppin'. She goes, these guys are going to be tight after this. And then this is where Ariana, like the tone of her voice and whatnot. I think this is honestly more directed towards production than anyone else. Because production's putting them all in these uncomfortable positions. Like they're going to film guys' night. And so if James wants to James could have stayed in and done stayed in with the girls. That would have been iconic. And they could have done James's chart. That would have been everything. So Ariana goes, why would James not respect himself enough to say, I'm good, I'll go hang out with my other friends? Lala, because guys are different. Ariana, well, that's sad for guys. Allie seems to totally get it though. She says that James feels guilty, and Ariana says if James feels guilty, he feels guilty because he knows he's betraying himself. And Lala goes, no, I think everyone is worried about losing you as a friend. Allie's like, I'm not going to play this game. No. She goes, I think it's both. I think that's a layer, but it's also the layer of he fucked your ex-fiance. Thank you, Allie. Thank you. Okay, because you're trying to put this all on Ariana. Okay. Ariana goes, that mattered up until 2 seconds ago, so there's no way that doesn't matter to him now. And Lala does kind of make a point here. I will give her that. She's like, that is what time does, though. Time passes and healing starts. You're always going to see it differently, though, Ariana, and I get it. And Ariana just goes, I see the reality. I see the truth of who Tom Sandoval really is. And then Lala, this was dumb. She goes, of course, because you were directly affected by it. Okay, James's ex-fiance, he was directly affected by it too. So stop putting all the blame on fucking Ariana. Like, she's the only one that was hurt, and that's the only reason why these people shouldn't be his friend. Okay, I'm done. I don't like it. But I also I get what Lala's trying to facilitate. She's basically trying to make production's life easier. She's trying to make Scheana's life easier. I get it. I get what she's doing. She's like, we're not going to get through the season filming ever if we're fighting it constantly, because production's not going to drop it, even though production should have dropped it. We should be building this whole show around Ariana at this point and the girls. Why don't we focus on that? But instead we're like, what about Tom Sandoval? Ugh. Ariana says she doesn't care what James does. I just don't think that this is who he really is. And I think it's really going to come to a head for him. And again, I'm kind of with Lala on this one, because it's like, all right, that's not up to you. That's not up to you. Fine. She says, it probably will. And if James decides to kick it with Sandoval, what will your stance be? And Ariana says, I won't fuck with that. And then Lala looks over to Scheana, like Scheana hasn't been sitting there this entire time hearing it. And she goes, I think now it's apparent that if you need to forgive him or do what you need to do, then you'll put your relationship at risk. And then Ariana, as if she's not talking about Scheana, she goes, I didn't say anything about forgiveness. I'm talking about going to dinner with him on a random Wednesday night. No, that I agree with. It's like, you can forgive, you can move on, you can do what you need to do there. But like, if you're going to hang out with me one night and then tomorrow night you're like, oh, I'm going to go to dinner with Tom, I'm going to be like, nope. Because no one should want to be his friend. If you want to be my friend, you should have morals. I sound like such a dick saying that. Am I the problem? It's possible. It's possible. Lala's like, if anyone understands what you're going through, it's me. And then this is where Lala drives me crazy. Then she also goes into this whole big spiel on her podcast too. I don't want to see what happened to me happen to you, where I was so concerned with what everyone else is doing. Ariana's like, but I'm not. And Lala goes, but you are. You're getting very heated about James going to dinner with him. Now, look, Lala, it wasn't like 2, 3, 4, 5 months later that Schwartz wanted to go play pickleball. It was actually kind of even longer than that, I thought, that he wanted to go play pickleball with Rand, and you freaked out. Now, where are you now that's so much better than where you were then, where you think you have the right to be spouting off advice? She thinks she's so sage and wise, but like, no one should think that about themselves. You're 33 years old too, girl. You young. And then she goes, in her podcast, she goes, I have to retrain myself not to be so reactive because I've always been like this. People said even when I was really young, I was like this. And so at 33, it's going to be really hard to do. And I'm like, to be honest with you, the 30s are the time to make changes, because your 20s, you're too fucked up. It's like you're having the hardest time of your life getting through it. And then your 30s is when you start to sort of see things a little bit more clearly, and you have the capacity to educate yourself, get more tolerant of whatever, leave what you don't want. Like, that's what the 30s are for. I just hit 40, so I feel like I can speak on that with some authority, but I don't really speak on anything with authority. You guys know how I am. I don't know shit. And I don't like how Lala thinks she knows everything. I don't like that. I don't want to see what happened to me happen to you. This isn't the way to do it. You're not guiding her in a way that she's going to take this in. You're telling her to get over it. And it's only been at this point, I think it's been 5 months. I said it was 3 months. I made some content. I said it was 3 months, but I think at this point in time, it's been 5 months, which still isn't much time. And she still lives with Tom. So she's still very much in it still. She needs to, once she can get out of the house and move on, like, there's just zero grace being afforded to this woman. And it's coming from like I know better. Don't do what I did. Well, why? What did you do? What was so bad about what you were doing? Maybe you don't know the full scope of it, but you got mad at Schwartz because he wanted to play pickleball with Rand. I thought that was fair. Like, what the hell? You know? I'm over it. But now Katie steps in. Katie was already triggered. She was already triggered by the conversation she had with them at dinner with Christina, because it's like, why are we having such a hard time saying goodbye to Tom Sandoval? He's Tom fucking Sandoval. He sucks. So she steps in to kind of defend Ariana. And Lala thought it was going to just be between her and Ariana. And that's why I think she flipped so quickly on Katie. But Katie's like, nothing's changed. She said this before, just like you made yourself very clear about your stance. And Lala revs up the anger and leans in to talk to Katie all wrong. If anyone gets it, I understand. Okay, I get that. But if you want to apply your situation, Katie, but if you want to apply your situation to every situation, you can't overlook that when you're talking about this. And Lala goes, oh, if you want me to apply my situation, no one's going to like what I have to say. I love Katie. She goes, ooh. And Lala goes, don't fucking do that. And Katie's like, what kind of threat is that? If you've got something to say it. Say it with your whole chest, bitch. Oh my God. Oh my, because Lala needs someone to step to her. Lala, she thinks she's so big and bad. And then Lala goes, excuse me, do not fucking talk to me like that. And Katie goes, don't talk to me like that. Don't put your finger and talk to me like that, bitch. So I'm like, okay, what happened then? That Lala talked about at her podcast. What happened? What was the fight about? Because I am here for it. Because Lala thinks that she's not the one to mess with. Katie's also not the one to mess with. You both have the same fighting tactic. But I don't like the way Lala talks to people at all. You do not want this. Disengage, bitch. Disengage. I'm like, you need to just, I don't like that. I don't like that side of her. But then Jess on Lala's podcast, Jess is like, I thought you handled that really well. You totally should have said everything you said and everything. We'll get to that. Actually, I have notes. Jess was really annoying. That's why I don't listen to that podcast. I know Jess isn't on all the time, but like I still like, and I don't like that it seems like Katie backed down. That could also just be editing, but it seemed like Lala said disengage and then Katie backed down. And then Ariana chimes in and says, what I feel like Katie is saying, that it sounds like you're saying, well, it was worse for me. And Lala goes, it is worse. And then in her confessional, it's some AA meeting shit. I want her to let go of the resentment. When you hold on to that, it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. We know. Okay, I know. This is why I fucking... Okay, thank you very much. Yes, she's aware. But there's also emotional processes that people need to go through that are healthy and normal. And you're acting like what she's saying is so impractical. She doesn't want to be fucking with people who like Tom Sandoval. If you like Tom Sandoval and you like a man that acts like that, then I don't want to even know you. How about that? Fuck off. And then Katie goes, this is back in the scene. Katie goes, yours always has to be bigger, better. Lala's like, no, it doesn't. It does. It always does, Lala. It does. Katie's like, that's what you're saying. And she goes, I rode so hard for her. Are you crazy? And you're making me go on defense mode. And Katie goes, all right, then defend yourself. Lala's like, why are you bringing this out in me? You brought it out in me. How about that, Lala? You bring it out in people too. I didn't do a damn thing to you and you know it. And then look at her like, ooh. Katie goes, it was a bit much. Well, you're a bit much all the time. Allie swoops in. And she's like, I think the important thing about charts is that we're all different. And I guess she kept like whispering over to Ariana, Pluto's in the first house. Pluto's in the first house. I don't disagree with Allie. My dad has studied astrology and he doesn't really do it anymore, but he's still just yesterday he checked it. Anyway, Lala apologizes to Ariana and she's like, I'm sorry. I don't want you to think that, I was trying to make it all about me. But that's just like apparently what I do. You want to see my chart? Ha ha ha. But Katie looks like she's about to cry. I hate that. I hate that she made Katie almost want to cry. When I started podcasting, the last thing I thought I would be putting to use was the Shopify knowledge I gathered when I was trying to be a drop shipper. But Shopify is your no excuses business partner. You can sell without needing to code or design, and you can still show up exactly how you want to. You can customize your online store. There's all these flexible, gorgeous templates. A lot of powerful tools all built in. This program actually whips up content for you, like blog posts, product descriptions. That's huge. You can generate instant frequently asked question answers, pick the perfect email send time. Plus, it's free Shopify magic for every Shopify seller. It also makes marketing simple. Shopify removes the guesswork with built-in tools that help you create, execute, and analyze your online marketing campaigns. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms. With our merch store for She Speaks Bravo, we were able to make it look exactly the way I wanted it to look. I didn't want it to look like your typical merch store. So we were able to customize the colors, play with the template, and Shopify kind of prompts you for all the things you didn't even think of. You know, you're like, oh yeah, discount code to sign up for emails, something like that. And Shopify has the best customer service. When I was trying to set up my online store a couple years ago, I asked them seemingly stupid questions. They were so nice. They were always very helpful. And that's vital when you're overwhelmed, you know? And I don't know if you realize, but Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the US. Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, Brooklinen, millions of other entrepreneurs of every size from across 175 countries. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/shespeaks, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/shespeaks now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/shespeaks. The mid-season trailer was somewhat interesting, I guess, somewhat. It was a lot more of the same. And you know what's interesting, when they were filming the finale scene where they all go to San Francisco, and they remember there's that big, it was all over social media. Some guy at the party like throws some water, throws a drink maybe over towards the group, and then Tom Sandoval like picks up a chair to fight him off, and they take the guy out. There was just an energy to Tom Sandoval in the content that I saw that made it feel like he was performing and he was feeling himself, and it felt like he had a bit of power. And I can see why, because if this whole season is around trying to bring Tom back into the group and bring little old Tom around, who they've been all mean to, little Tom, he feels like he's got some power. So he's going to try to have a scene with Ariana, and she walks away and tells whoever the producer she's talking to, like, he just wants a moment for the cameras. That's all this is. This is just a moment for cameras. He doesn't give a fuck about me. It's true. What else was interesting? Nothing really was just to me, it was like more of the same. Scheana's going to cry and be like, I worry about Brock and Lala, my best friends. I worry about them because of you, because of what you did. Okay. Anywho. Oh, also, I guess it's clickbait. That's a good way to put it. The clickbait trickery editing that they do for reunion trailer or for trailers, where Scheana's like, I don't think that we're going to be together forever. And even though I've heard rumors about them, I don't know if that's just like editing, you know, because they do that. They love to do that. All right, Watch What Happens Live. Let's see, what notes do I have for Watch What Happens Live? Ariana, her media training or whatever they've done, or maybe this is just her, she shows you how to do every interview. Every interview she does is great. She just answers in a way that's kind of hard to hate on. But the lighting on Ariana was horrible. I don't know if anyone else noticed this. She looked like she had bags under her eyes. Maybe she does. Maybe she's tired because she's doing all the performing. I don't know. But it was like it was up too high and shining down on her. And usually when people go and watch Happens Live, they look incredible. So I don't know what was happening there. John Oliver was a treat. He gets into the Kate Middleton stuff. And he says, there's a non-zero chance that she died 2 months ago. Non-zero. John hates the Scheana stuff. They play a game, and how does John feel about Scheana making the breakup all about her? And he's like, it's some fresh bullshit. Fuck that noise. He's a delight. I could have him. I need him to actually do a Bravo podcast. And I'm not even kidding. I would listen to it religiously. I love his takes. I had no idea he was this into Bravo. The question is, how do you feel about Adriana's new single from Miami? And he goes, I thought I wouldn't want any more, but it's not bad. It's not bad. John says that he's wearing a Brooks Marks tracksuit, and he says that Brooks Marks misspelled the word design on the inside packaging. He influenced me to want a Brooks Marks tracksuit. I'm not even kidding. Brooks Marks? Did I say that right? Brooks Marks? Why does that sound so different? He made me want one. I want one. Oh my God, wait, Andy almost started a war. He tells Ariana, he's like, look, I asked the guys bartender, because 2 of the dancers from Chicago are the bartenders, the performers. He's like, I asked the guys to rank the Bravo people who've done the show, and you did very well. And then he's like, he goes on to like say something, and then up next, we're going to talk about this. And then he goes, okay, but for the record, they also said nothing but nice things about everyone. Just so you know, I could tell he could see the tweets like, well, what did they say about? Don't worry, everything's fine. Okay, on the after show, let's see what we have here. Jax hates Katie for bringing up the cheating rumors. So no one seems to believe that Jax has cheated. And it is weird that this is filmed before the split, because Britt is still in the defending Jax mode. And then we've got the Valley people. So here's what I feel like they thought. They were like, we've got to do both these after shows. We can't not do these after shows. But I'm like, why do I need an after show from these people? We don't do after shows all the time. I don't need an after show. But someone put the order in. And I know that they had planned, I think I saw it in a Variety, that the plan was to weave Vanderpump into the Valley, very similar to the way they weaved Beverly Hills into Vanderpump Rules. So I'm not surprised by this. Also, scheduling. This is interesting. But then why are we not getting the Scheana, James, Lala interviews? And now we're only getting Scheana's with Kristen, Lala's with Brittany. Because I really enjoyed having James like defend Ariana. I appreciated that. So the change, it made sense from a scheduling standpoint, but also then why? Oh, yeah. Ariana says that she read the blind about how the current Tom was a ruse as a cover for the other one, to Tom. I remember that blind. I was like, there's no way. But she's like, yeah, I went into Tom and was like reading it. Like, how ridiculous is this? And he's like, yeah. Isn't that crazy? Regarding the photo that Scheana got in trouble for, Brittany and Lala, they're in their after show set up together. And Brittany's like, I wasn't shocked, but was Ariana mad about it or something? Like, she wasn't. Ariana wasn't mad about it. Lala goes, she wasn't, but she also didn't defend her. And then Scheana goes, I mean, I wish Ariana had thought of it herself, but I still appreciate it. And then Lala, again, Ariana stays scrolling. She knows everything being talked about in the comment section. And here is your friend getting dragged on your behalf. She caught a restraining order on your behalf, and you can't make a post telling them to back off. It's mind-blowing to me. It's mind-blowing to me that you expect the woman who's grieving and going through all this shit to do that. But okay. And then Ariana posted something. She did. She posted something. So why are you still living in the space that she didn't? She did it. She posted something because she didn't want, and Ariana said, I didn't want Scheana to think that I was purposely not posting as some kind of an attack. And that's exactly how it would have been perceived. She didn't think about it, but then when she finds out that that's something that she would want, she's like, well, if I don't do it now, then it's going to seem like I've got some big issue. And I don't want it to seem like that. And Katie's not here for it, though. Katie's not here for her posting something. She's like, when you were forced into it. Katie's like, she says that Scheana didn't need to put her arm around him. You know, when I'm in pictures with him, I'm just like, ooh, don't touch me. But Scheana like put her arm around him. She's like, you have to think about the optics. Of course, out of context, because that's what it's going to be. People are going to see that and be like, what the fuck? So she's like, I accidentally stood next to him when we took a photo and I was like, ooh, and like, didn't even look towards him. You know, they're putting these people in, but then she's like, it's not even, that wasn't even it. It wasn't even done. Then you're hanging out at Life is Beautiful. Then you're going to his hotel room and at BravoCon. And then you complain, everyone's being so mean to me, but you keep accidentally, purposely hanging out with him. So Lala changes her tune. She goes, sometimes it takes an outsider to give perspective to a situation. You know, Ariana didn't have to take it in and do anything with it. So she did, and she did. So why are we mad at her? She's literally done nothing wrong. All right, so then Scheana saying that Tom is more sad about losing her friendship than being out of the relationship with Ariana. I'm sorry, she's changed her tune. Now she's like, we heard a lot of things. But it's weird because Brittany says she understands how you get to a roommate situation and then you're kind of stuck. She goes, not that I am, because she's still in that place. Not that I am. But when Jax and I are going through hard times, I wonder if I'm going to lose all this stuff that I've built. And Lala's like, yeah, I can understand where Tom was coming from, not breaking up with Ariana. Tom? If anything, I would understand why Ariana was lying to herself and pretending she was happy all this time. Because Ariana hasn't been happy with Tom. She didn't know how to access those feelings. And she kept making excuses around Tom to make Tom someone that she actually would like, even though she won't even like Tom. Tom sucks. And so that's really what the thing is. But to be like, I get why Tom didn't break up with her. And then they clarify like, well, no, like, you know, not breaking up with her before cheating isn't what we're saying. But like, yeah, okay. Okay. Why does Tom need anyone to understand him? Sorry, I'm being very bitter. But Kristen says, over time, what was cute about Tom, 7 or 9 years later, it's not fun and cute anymore. When you're waking up every morning dealing with the partying, it's one thing to have an assistant because you're too busy. It's another thing to have an assistant because you can't open your mail or clean your kitchen. Exactly. Okay. Exactly that. And what's funny too is that Scheana, you're the only one who wants to be friends with Tom. No one wants to be friends with Tom. Kristen's sitting right here. She doesn't want to be friends with Tom. We know why. We know he wouldn't be her friend. But Tom sucks. Okay, what is your problem? But Scheana likes to be the friend with everybody. She likes to be the one that's friends with everyone. I get along with everyone. That's kind of Sheena's vibe, right? And also, exactly this point about the assistant. You don't need an assistant, dude. You need like a podcast editor. You need those sorts of things. But an assistant to do what? Unpack you? Like he says, like when he gets home from his trip, he tells her she can unpack. Ew. We get a lot of the Valley stuff in this. That's right. A lot of the Valley stuff. And I don't really care to recap it because it's like, here's an intro to this person. I'm like, we'll do this when we watch the show. Okay, on Lala's podcast, this is where Jess was just being such a kiss ass. She goes, you are saying things that need to be said, which is not surprising. And that's why people love you. And that they're hard to say. And you could have, gone without saying them, but you say them. And she goes on and on about the convo with Ariana and Scheana. And she just really, you got through to Ariana and for your friend. You stood up for your friend. Ariana's her friend too. Why is Ariana not worthy of any of your understanding? How come you couldn't be like, okay, no, I get that. That's fair. I guess you guys are just in a tough spot. Nope. It's just Sheena's the only one that has a thing. And Jess is like, that's the way to do it. Lala claims that she always comes to Sheena's defense because it's her tone that people just don't get. Sure. Maybe it's also the message. Lala does admit that she thought it would have felt really good to have the world rally around her like they did Ariana. But that doesn't mean she wasn't happy for her. And she says this to compare the way Scheana feels about Dancing with the Stars. Yeah, kinda. It was the way both Scheana and Lisa were handling that. That was the issue for me. They were both like, yeah, how could she get Dancing with the Stars? Jess, thank God, though, does say that the whole Scheana going, she's come a long way from being my backup dancer. That was too far. And Lala admits, she's like, yeah, if I were not in the mix, I would be like, ooh, that shady little bitch. But she admits she cringed. And then they go on and on about how the audience is too tough on Scheana. And then Easton kind of nails it, though. He says, like the birth chart thing that they went through, she is always trying to please other people. And Easton says that she's too busy trying to please the audience. And if Scheana would just be Scheana, the audience would love her. And this is true. Would love her more if Scheana was like, I'm going to talk to Tom. This is how I feel about it. It just would be different. But instead, she's so panicked about how the audience is going to perceive her. And she's filming very aware of the audience perception. And she's actually getting the feedback in real time because that photo response is real time feedback that feeds into how she's going to behave and respond. She actually thinks that Ariana saying, guys, back off Scheana, she's been a good friend, is going to make all of us be like, oh, okay, the rest of the season, it's cool. No, we're going to see your behavior, your actions, and we don't understand why you'd want to be friends with someone like Tom. And it's fucking weird. And why wouldn't you just cut ties? Because he was nice to you at Upfronts. Okay, cool. There's a million other things that's happened since. So, anyway. Scheana, what does this say? Oh, that's right. Scheana, Lala tells a story about how Scheana had confided in her that she's finding out about Ariana's life through the press. And that's hard. And it's like, okay, I don't understand that though. I don't. If you're not, Scheana has said that she's got a lot of unanswered texts from Ariana and whatnot. And I don't know if that's because Ariana's trying to figure out what Sheena's even doing with this whole thing. But I feel like Sheena's also been accused of that very thing. And what exactly is she saying she's finding out about? Like endorsement deals or new jobs she's gotten or whatever. Like, what are you saying you're not finding out about? Because that's all that's really been happening. She's been going through this breakup and just working. So you're upset because you're finding out about them through headlines? It's a stretch for me. It's a stretch. It is. Because there's ways to catch up. There's ways to check in. They don't live near each other, too. That's a big one. Scheana and Lala live next door to each other now. And boy, can we tell. Scheana has multiple homes, though. She's got a home now in Sherman Oaks. And she's got the home, because that's in Palm Desert that they have a house. That they both have houses, right? So they're kind of isolated together, too. So I just don't buy that. I don't buy that Sheena's trying to turn that into a sob story and that Lala is trying to pitch it as such. I'm just not buying any of it. It's like your friend's going through something. How about that? Your friend's going through a lot. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Okay. I think I got everything, guys. And now I'm going to go to sleep because I'm tired. Okay. Love you. Mean it. Stay healthy. Bye. Thanks for tuning in to She's Speaking with Emily Hanks. This show is produced, hosted, and edited by me, Emily, and brought to you in partnership with Cloud 10 Media. If you are looking for bonus content, check out the Patreon. The link is in the description. To show some support, you can hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Another free way to support the pod, please rate and/or review on whatever platform you listen. It's free, and it helps the algorithm or something. You could also head to buymeacoffee.com/shespeaks and buy me a coffee or two. Make sure you're following me on all social medias. I am She's Speaking with Emily Hanks across all platforms: Threads, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. That's it. Thank you guys. See you soon.